Hello, this week on Writings from the Hills, we are spotlighting a book called The Great Black Swamp. It is written by Patrick Wensink. Toxic algae, toxic relationships, and the most interesting place in America that nobody has ever heard of. It talks about in the summer of 2014, strange things happen in one of the largest freshwater bodies on the planet. Lake Erie's western shore turned bright green with toxic algae that could have killed 400,000 Ohioans. Stranger still, it was kind of Patrick Wensink's fault. So this is his story. Starts out with chapter 1, a shrug and a smile, and back to normal. The only way to truly understand Northwest Ohio and Lake Erie's toxic algae problem and the region's secret history as bloodthirsty, uninhabitable swamp that was once home to the worst road in America is to first go through John Denver. Specifically, how in 1973, the city of Toledo pretty much issued a fatwa against the gentle, squeaky clean folk singer who seemingly had nothing to do with the place. The year 1973 was an optimistic one when good time movies like The Sting topped the box office. It was the year Tony Orlando and Dawn had a #1 hit with their wholesome tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. The year silly yet wonderful things like garlic knots and the band Kiss were invented, both in Queens, New York. And the year of the Paris Peace Accord, which has essentially ended Vietnam War. How was it this also the year that lovable boyish John Denver became Northwest Ohio's public enemy #1? Maybe because 1973 was also a complicated year, a dark, paranoid year. It was a year Americans were so edgy that the Tonight Show host Johnny Carson accidentally created a nationwide toilet paper shortage just by making a single joke. The year the Watergate Commission was established and essentially led to President Richard Nixon's resignation, and the year actor Bruce Lee mysteriously died. It was such a tumultuous year that scandals even plagued the International Soapbox Derby World Championship across the state in Akron, where 14-year-old winner Jimmy Gronin was found to have cheated by installing an electromagnetic in the nose of his racer. So this was a time and a place where harmless John Denver could conceivably be threatened with violence by a medium-sized American city. Here's light and dark in Northwest Ohio, good and evil, villains and heroes, often all tightly woven together like some kind of Midwestern double helix that you probably never even notice. But Denver was supposed to transcend light and darkness. He was an artist perfectly positioned to rise above the chaos of 1973. The elephant-bespectacled musician was blossoming into a megastar that year thanks to his upbeat song, Rocky Mountain High. John Denver was perhaps the one person that both grandparents and hippies might conceivably enjoy together. This affable, golden-haired child was meant to bring us together again. And yet, Toledo's mayor, Harry Kessler, hated Denver with a fist-pounding fury, saying publicly, "Boy, am I going to singe him. I'll send that son of a gun a letter he'll never forget." One Toledo Blade reporter took it further, calling Denver a demon-eyed, furtive-brow, nothing-is-sacred pop singer. That writer, Tom Gerhardt, added somebody had better warn Denver before he ambled in Toledo, June 16th, that instead of a key to the city, he might just be handed a live grenade. What had captured the town's anchor? Recently, John Denver had performed a song on Carson's Tonight Show titled Saturday Night in Toledo, Ohio. That song is offensive as heck to me, and I'm sure it is to the people of this city, Mayor Kessler added. It's disgraceful. Lewis Thompson, head of the Labor Management Citizens Committee, a man who once co-authored a scorching letter to Gloria Steinem after the feminist icon said Toledo, her childhood home, was rat-infested, called Denver's tune a dastardly lie, and he'd like to take the singer on a tour of the city some Saturday night to the places my wife doesn't know about. Denver's TV performance had whipped everyone into a frenzy by committing the unforgivable sin of calling the 47th largest city in America boring. Saturday night in Toledo, Ohio is like being nowhere at all, the song began, featuring just Denver's honey-sweet voice and an acoustic guitar. Saturday night was a staple of his live act and had never been beamed out at 20 million people for a laugh until now. The rest of the lyrics don't make Toledo look much better. For roughly 2.5 minutes, Denver's angelic lyrics emphasize the most interesting things to do here are watch the grass die, stare at buns rising at the bakery, and weigh yourself on one of the city's famed scales. The last part was probably the only passage citizens and civic leaders didn't find offensive. Toledo was, in fact, the scale manufacturing capital of the world at the time. From factory floors to doctor's offices to delicatessens. If you saw a device meant to weigh something or someone, it probably had the name Toledo boldly emblazoned on it. People in town were proud of that. It was the kind of hardworking, blue-collar, practical manufacturing that this place was built on. Amid the controversy, Denver canceled the June performance. His suspicious claimed television commitments to London were the reason, but he did reschedule the concert for November. Well, that's just the beginning of The Great Black Swamp. And it is by Patrick Wensink. This book is available in print. If you would like to request a copy, just go to any of our locations or go to our catalog. And I will see you next time.